Welcome back to Getting Better at College Football 26, the little mini series where I take you through some different facets of the game and how maybe you're not quite optimizing your ability to beat the CPU on Heisman or your ability to compete in user online dynasties. This is not for your competitive players that are looking to make money. This is simply for your online, offline dynasties that are struggling against tougher competition. Let me teach you how to be better throwing the football. And again, this series is specifically designed because of a couple of players in the online dynasty that I have on my channel, The League. Go check it out if you haven't already. Super fun and entertaining league. We already got 3 episodes up. We got another one coming later this week. You're not going to want to miss it. Keeping track of all of it. Super fun storylines. Again, very much worth your time. But the reason why that I'm doing this is because some guys in that league are struggling, and I want to give them a way to get better, but also I want to give other people that are in the same situation a way to get better. Now, we already talked about running the football, and I think that running the football and being good at it is the most important thing you can do that separates below average players to, great or good or great players. Passing the football, though, is also super important. And a couple of things that you want to look for when you are in your pre-snap. Remember, I don't know how much time you have, so you have to, over the course of time, these reps of looking at the defense, seeing what you have pre-snap, they're going to start to quicken your thought process, your pre-snap processor, because you're going to need to know what you're looking at pre-snap so that you can kind of have an idea of where you're going to go post-snap. So the key here is the safeties. Every single time, and anytime you hear any NFL or college quarterback talk about this, or any coach, the first thing they say is they look at how many safeties there are, because that is going to tell you where the weak spots on the defense are. If they are in 1 high, it usually means that they're in cover 1 or cover 3. If they're in 2 high, they could be in any variation of cover 2, cover 4, cover 6, cover 9. And we'll talk about all those coverages and what they mean and where you need to attack. But that is the most important thing, because it changes where you're going to go with the football and what kind of concepts you want to run if a team is running in heavy one side or another in terms of, what kind of safety look they have. So right now, middle field is close because there is one safety that is high. Got a trips formation, so the safety is shaded to that side. Now, middle field open would be if there are 2 safeties because the middle of the field is open. So right here, you can see that I've got 1 high safety and I've got trips to the left, and every single player is manned up. So I actually, fortunately, on my first play that I just went random plays, I actually have a motion. Now, this motion is going to tell me whether or not this is zone or man coverage. If that player, number 9, over my slot Lacey, goes in motion with him, then I know this is man coverage. If he doesn't, then I know it's zone coverage. And it likely is going to be cover 3. But we could also see some sort of post-snap rotation. And what would happen there is that safety that we see up there would drop into a half. You would cover that left half of the field, hashing in. And then this corner on the other side, on the right side, would drop back into a half over there. And then that corner would play some sort of cloud coverage or play that flat zone. So let's see what happens here. So they're just going to shift over. So this is likely a zone coverage. And it is. And so we're just going to hit our guy underneath. Another thing that is super important is taking what the defense gives you. You'll see a lot of people throw interceptions because they are trying to press way too much. You can't do that. You have to be able to take what the defense gives you and then have play designs that are called for the purpose of touchdowns or chunk plays. Not every play should be designed to get a lot of yards. You need plays that are going to be, 8, 9, 10 yards. So that you have to keep that in mind when you're playing the game. I also recommend using the placement and accuracy passing setting because it allows you to have the most control over your throws, but it's also got more zip on it than revamped passing. And you're going to notice that you find it pretty hard to throw into tight windows if you're on revamped, but if you're on placement and accuracy, you can fit the ball in much tighter windows, and it even enhance your passing attack even more. So you're going to see right here, we got a good clean press win over the top on our outside, but you can't always rely on that. Now, the reason why I went with that first is because when I looked at my two routes that were underneath, so my fullback was running an angle route, he's running some sort of Texas, and then my tight end was running an out route. Well, as you'll see coming off the line of scrimmage, my tight end gets shucked. He's got nowhere to go. My fullback decides that he's going to run right into my tackle. He's not really in play for this, for this passing concept anymore because of that. I still could throw him the ball. But then I look to the right and I see that Amorian Walker gets a clean win off the line of scrimmage. And so, of course, I'm going to throw him the ball. It's a good throw. It's a touchdown. He's fast, too. It helps. Now we get a little bit of a bunch look. And bunch looks are going to be your friend because it's going to make it so that the defense really doesn't know what's coming. And if they're in man coverage, it's going to force them to have to go over the top, giving you some free lanes. Now, if they're in zone coverage, what you want to have happen is you want to have the defenders be pulled. And so the way that this play is set up is that Lacey is going to pull, if they're in zone coverage, is going to pull any of those hook curl defenders down so that way I can hit Galloway on his little angle route that he has behind the linebackers. But you also see that we do have a middle field close look, so we got one high safety. This could be cover 1, this could be cover 3. If it is cover 1, it means we got man coverage on the outside where Butler is. That out route is usually pretty good against man coverage. If it's cover 3, again, we're expecting a bail technique from this corner. Having Butler be able to just hit that quick out route once the corner flips his hips will give it an easy play. So these are the things that you have to look for when you come out of your formation. Where am I going to go to the ball with the ball? Again, take what the defense gives you. So we got the underneath. We're going to take it. We only picked up a couple of yards. I probably should have thrown it to Galloway there. But you're not looking for the home run. As long as you don't lose yards, you pick up 3 or 4 yards, you're going to be okay. That's ahead of schedule. So now we've got a little flood concept. Not flood concept. We got a little levels concept. I don't know why I said flood. Made the right read, didn't make the catch. That'll happen. So now you see the safety comes down. We're going to get some sort of post-snap rotation, or this is going to be man coverage on the backside. So also, something you want to note is your pre-snap protection. If you notice a blitz coming, you want to set yourself up to have as much time as possible. So here I went base coverage, or I went base blocking assignment, so I pressed LB, and I went down on the left stick. And then I also put Middlebrook in. So I pressed Y twice, and I pressed RT to put him on a block. Because right now it's looking like we're either going to get a little post-snap rotation into a one-high look, or we're going to get straight up a man blitz. Right now I'm thinking my quick winner is Galloway on that sit-down route there and that little hook once Butler clears. That's where I'm going to go if it is a blitz. That's my hot. If not, I think I'll be able to have Walker on that in-breaking route over top of those linebackers. So that's kind of the thought process here. And so we didn't quite get that hot route that we were looking for, but we still got the touchdown. Because why did I end up going backside? Because right away, I noticed that Galloway wasn't going to have the clean win that I wanted him to have immediately. Now, I could have thrown this to Lacey right away, right? This out route could have been the play to make. The reason why I held the ball a second longer to throw the dig is because it's going to result in a bigger play than that out route, right? If he catches this going in, there is nobody in the middle of the field to stop him. Whereas if Lacey catches that going out, well, now the defender can use the sideline as leverage to push him out of bounds. So that one was a little bit more of a next level read and decision, because a lot of people will just look at the bunch side and only focus on the bunch side, and they would have had a quick, dice out. But I looked backside because I noticed that on the man blitz, the dig routes will tend to get open more, and then you have a lot more space to work with for yak purposes. Play action will also be a useful tool for you, and it's just to get the defense moving. And again, you're not looking for anything big, right? 7-8 yards. You're just looking to get the ball out quick. And I think that's a problem that people have with play action, is that they look too much for the big play instead of just, think about when Sean McVay was in Los Angeles and they ran their wide zone boot action that got guys open in the flats all the time, and they would just dump it off, and it would be all the yak stuff that they would work that they wanted. That is what you should use play action for. Sure, you're going to get some shots every now and then that are going to result in touchdowns, but use play action as a way to just get easy, cheap, 7, 8, 9, 10 yard plays. So here we just got a verticals concept, and it looks like with the off coverage, we're looking at either a cover 4 or some sort of, cover 6, cover 9 variation where one of the corners is going to squat, and then we're going to have a cover 2 on one side and a cover 4 on the other side. So again, when you have 2 high safeties, you're able to do a little bit more in terms of rotation post-snap, and you're able to vary your pre-snap look to give a couple of different ideas, because you could also run a cover 2 man, right, where you have the 2 safeties play their half zones but play man underneath. If you're in single high, you literally can only play 2 coverages unless you're rotating pre-snap. You can only play cover 1, or you can only play cover 3. That's really all you can do. So playing 2 high will allow you to be more multiple in what coverages you play, but you won't necessarily have the ability to stop the run, the same ability to stop the run. So it looks like it's just going to be a cover 4, and this is going to be some sort of match cover 4. And so as you saw there, the second that my guys passed the second level of defenders, the safeties and the quarters players picked them up, and they just manned them up from there. So I ran the worst play in a cover 4, into a cover 4. You do not want to run verticals into a cover 4. That is absolutely not what you want to do. So your entire goal when you are passing the ball is to influence defenders to give you easier throws. You want easy button throws. So you have to do a good job influencing those defenders to give you those easy button throws. So this screen here isn't going to be something crazy, but we're going to run it anyway because, being able to have quick plays like that can get you quick yardage is something that you. So this is another good play to beat man coverage. We got a single high look. Looks like we might have some sort of blitz from the left side based off of the alignment of the defense. So, again, take what the defense gives you. Give yourself an option to go too quick just in case nothing is open. So, for me, it's going to be this drag. Easy money. Pick up 7, 8 yards. I love the drive concepts. Anything that's flood or drive related is an auto add to my book because it messes with zone coverage. It messes with man coverage. It's a great beater all around. And so I look low to high. Low, just going to get it out quick. Obviously, you wish you would catch it. But if I can get 4 yards on that, I'm feeling really good about myself. A little bit of a different concept. But again, just find the quick hole in the defense. Give yourself the option to get the ball out quick. And the worst thing I see people do is drift in the pocket because that just gives defenders more of a chance to hit you when they really shouldn't have a chance to. The route in red is usually a good indicator of where you should go with the football. I don't listen to it a ton, but this play specifically, that's where I'm looking. That little hook in the zone will be between a lot of defenders if they're in anything other than a cover 3. So that's where we're going to look. It's not there, so we're going to go back to the right side. So I want to show you what I saw post snap because they're in this 3 high look that you don't see too often, but you will see out of some 3-3-5 defenses. They brought a blitz, and I noticed that post-snap. But because of where that linebacker was by the time I reached the top of my drop, I knew I couldn't throw to Butler on his little hook. So I had to know where the winner was on the other side of the field. And that just happened to be my tight end. Got the ball out quickly, right before the defender got there. We picked up 4 yards. That is... Listen, if a team blitzes, you're not going to score every time. You just want to pick up 4 yards and keep the drive moving. Here we got a spacing concept. This is a great one to beat man or zone coverage as well. Just find the zone. Find the zone. Pick up 5 yards. Find the zone. You should have a clock in your head that says get the ball out in 2 seconds after the snap. Because if you haven't, chances are that you're going to get sacked anyway. Because offensive lines are not good enough at this point in your dynasty. Even if you do get later in your dynasty, they're still probably not good enough. And so they're running this 3 high look here. They're going to drop them all back, so I know I have my guy Tavion Galloway underneath. Pick up 10 yards. Don't be afraid to dink and dunk your way down the field. Here, we got some play action. Going to get me out in space. Boom. Hit that hole. It's just about knowing when the defense is going to open up. Here, just going to hit this out route. Bang. Why? Because the corner was off leverage. If he's playing off coverage, I know I'm going to have that. Here we got another drive concept. This time we've got the running back influencing the other way. He might be the guy that gets open. They're going to bring a blitz. I know I've got my running back. Bang. My running back's going to score. I mean, if they bring a blitz, you just got to get the ball out quickly. Just know where your beaters are going to be. So I know that they're in a cover 3 right now. I just put it in. But I want to show you where the soft spots in cover 3 are. So you'll see Lacey's on a post. There's a small window in between the deep safety and the corner that you can fit the window, that you can fit the ball into. And I'm going to show you right here. Like, that's there. That's there anytime somebody goes into cover 3. Now, what is also there is the seam. Now, he sat on that one a little bit more, so here's what we're going to do. Ready? We are now going to force... put you on a comeback. So this play is going to force that underneath hook zone to stay in his zone while Galloway hits him over top. Otherwise, I've got him right there. It's just influencing the defense, right? So you've got the little crosser, you've got the zone, bang. Look at that. It's simple. The way you attack cover 3 is in the seams. That is where you beat it. Okay, so this is what cover 2 looks like. Where are the cover 2 weak spots? Well, right down the middle of the field, as you can see, the middle field open. And then the hole shots on the outsides. So between the corner and the safeties on either side. You also have this small area in the middle of the field because this linebacker in the middle of the field has to drop deeper because there's no safety occupying the middle of the field. He's got to get a deeper drop. So you have that section of the field, the middle of the field, that is, probably 10 yards in to work with as well. So this play is cooked. There's no way that I'm going to be able to beat cover 2 running seam routes. However, if I put everybody on a go route, well, then they're going to have to choose somebody. And if it was a better pass, that'd be a touchdown, right? This is how you influence the defense to do exactly what you want them to do. He's going to bend inside. That's a touchdown. So now we're just going to cross. We're just going to do a little crisscross. They travel with the seam route, you throw it underneath. You're trying to influence anybody that you can. Gonna bend it inside. Look at that. Being on placement and accuracy allows you to throw that bend in pass like that. You can't do that on revamped. Look at that. Right behind the defender. Have the most control of your offense. Bang. Right there. Wish you would catch it, but it's there. The seams are there. Quick out. Nope. But right there it is. Look at that catch. Touchdown. That's simple. I mean, I just keep hitting it. Oh my God. Never seen anything like that before. So against cover 6, you're really looking at a cover 2 and a cover 4. So you have to know which side is which. Now, my guess is right now the left side is cover 4. Will we be right? I don't know, but we got the ball out quick because there's nobody over top of him. And where this one hits is going to be dependent on which side is which. But you'll see we've got cover 4 on the right side, cover 6 on the left side. Cover 2 on the left side, I meant. And we just took the middle of the field. So it really splits up what these guys are playing. So on the right side, they're playing cover 4. On the left side, they're playing cover 2. And so if I wanted to send Middlebrook on a slant, I'm going to have him open, and I know that. Bang. Right there. Easy. It's just so simple. Just knowing where your winners are. Right? That's where you really got to find. Look at PostSnap. Look PreSnap. Find out where your winners are. They might change post-snap, but you'll start to pick it up, more times than not that you'll be right pre-snap. That should take your offense to the next level in the passing game. Really, it's not hard, and you shouldn't make it harder than it needs to be. You really just have to call plays that make sense, right? There are a lot of plays in offenses that look very cool and look like they can, be big play potential and whatnot. But if you don't have anything that can win quick, it's not a good play for you. If you don't have answers early on, it's not a good play for you. Like this PA crossers play. It's a fantastic play when it works, but when it doesn't, you don't have anything. You literally do not have anything. If this tight end doesn't get off, your closest throw is 20 yards down the field. So you have, again, that's one of your shot plays. If you call that, it's got to work, right? So just as long as you know when to call those plays, have situational plays to take shots in. PA shot. This would be a great call against cover 2 or cover 6. But if you don't have that, do not run those plays consistently. Run your meshes. Run your slants. Run your RPOs. Run anything that's got some sort of drag or flat. Run a levels concept. Level concepts are great against all coverages. Put yourself in a position to succeed. But that is all I have for you today. Thank you all so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Catch you on the flip. See ya.